I'm not like other girls.
I'm not like other girls.
I'm so wayfish.
I'm bird
but
boned
my
and I
size
chop
G
wood.
breast bounced bobbly down the stairs.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music
So
Takes a wide stance.
so I'm sitting at essentially a dresser, so truly my legs are spread. I am like braced in a horse riding stance, just like, okay, how to discuss this movie without me blowing my mic out.
So what I will say is I don't think this musical, which was turned into a stage production, gets done a lot, particularly at a high school level, because just getting seven minimum like 14.
Oh no,
you need them for the barn dance.
but those could be girls in a suit. Those could be girls in a suit.
Okay, fine. At least 7 male dancers at a high school level. Yeah, you know, it can happen, but it's slim chances.
Slim pickings.
Compared to other shows. Slim pickings. So I'm wondering, when it is done, when this musical is done at a high school level nowadays, what's changed? Is there a junior version?
How do you manage the whole kidnap and human trafficking element of this?
Yeah, I was trying to think of the phrase human trafficking because you texted it to me earlier about this, and I couldn't think of it.
I also texted that this is a horror movie. And if you changed the music, if you literally changed nothing but the music, this is a horror movie.
You want to know something funny? I'm going to spoil one of my fun facts now. You know who was almost Gideon instead of Russ Tamblyn?
Oh, was this George?
George Chakiris.
This was one of my fun facts too. I love it.
It's like, George, you
made the right call to be a dancer in White Christmas instead of this movie.
And then they were both in West Side Story, so it all works out. Welcome back to 5678, a movie musical podcast where we review and recap movie musicals from the 30s up to modern day. Oh boy, they can't all be winners. They can't all be winners, but it's rare that such a well loved historically, big asterisks, and like elected for preservation because of cultural and historical significance.
All of the
we
top,
don't like this
it's
much.
like on all of the top lists for like best musicals. It's always in like the top 20. And I'm just like, why? Like, so this is a conversation that me and my parents have a lot, where it's just like, okay, you watch a movie that was made in a different time. There are obviously different sensibilities. Comedy is different. Comedy changes with generations. Like, what's okay to talk about, what's okay to say, how you behave is different in every movie. But then sometimes you watch an old movie and you're like, hey, that wasn't okay then. Like, you don't have the
no, it wasn't okay
like
then.
Safety blanket of time, because this is still bad.
Even in 1850, when this is set,
bad.
These actions, not
good. Illegal. Super illegal.
This movie is 71 years old. I'm just gonna put that out there. We are doing 7 brides for 7 brothers. Because we haven't said that yet.
We're just yelling already.
We're just yelling already. Just because you're yelling doesn't mean you're winning.
But
I thought of that today.
Bless.
Shout out to Brandon.
Shout out.
Just for that. Oh my God. Okay.
I had never seen this movie. You had never seen this movie.
I hadn't either.
And I'm now mad that I have. And I've read more about how this was made than I wanted to know. And it gave me some historical fun facts that I deeply dislike. So, unfun facts, one might say.
It was a tight 90. It has that going for it.
Okay, there we go. You know what? Okay, so I was struggling with what my moment of joy was, and I'm going to type that in now. Moment of joy was only 90 minutes.
It was a tight 90. I'd love to do a deeper dive, not right now, of like, what's up with all the Western musicals?
That's fair.
Because I was thinking about it, and
What other ones are you thinking about? Besides,
I'm iffy
obviously,
on, like,
Oklahoma.
what was, like, Unsinkable Molly Brown, The Harvey
True.
Girls, fucking all the others.
Oklahoma, this one.
Like, the credits,
yeah.
the opening credits rolled, and I'm like, what is this? The Unsinkable Molly Brown? Because it was all like rivers, mountains, out, western. I was like, what's up with that? But I mean, we had a lot of Western movies.
They were really popular. I mean,
I don't
Clint
know.
Eastwood made
We
his
love
whole
a Western in this country.
fucking thing about that.
Yeah.
All right.
This movie is set in the Oregon Territory in 1850.
Yes.
And the very first character we meet is like a 6'2", 6'4", tall, burly woodsman who is a ginger, and there is no way he's not sunburnt. That, like, there's that was like first lie is that he would be so sunburnt.
He's in Oregon. There's no sun.
There's sun in Oregon. Are you kidding? It's all west. It's all western sun.
It's above Northern California. It's like in between
You can still get
Washington.
sunburnt. You can still get sunburnt.
Okay.
The sun
If
is still in
Twilight has
Oregon.
taught me anything, it is that there is no sun in this
That's not
entire area.
First of all, that's in Washington State.
Which is right above Oregon.
I'm sorry, you can get sunburnt skiing out west in the winter. You can get sunburnt in Oregon in the summer. Get in the comments. Anyway, we roll up 1850 Oregon Territory, the Wild West. We roll up into a nondescript, never named Western town.
And this guy
got,
in
like,
all fringe.
It's like fairly established. All fringe, all some kind of animal hide. And he immediately makes his presence there everyone's problem.
Yes.
He goes in, well, the first thing we see is him, like, haggling for a price, and it makes it very clear, like, he only comes into town, like, twice a year.
Yeah.
He lives up in them there hills
Yep.
with his 6 brothers in a
Weird.
cabin. And he's like, but you know what's on my to-do list? You know what's on my grocery list for this trip? I'm gonna get me a wife. And I loved the little old lady that was running the shop being like, you can't just put that on your list.
She was great. But this did remind me, and they mention it later, what was the movie where someone was just like, you don't want a wife, you want a maid. Hire someone, you lunatic. Was that Dolly?
Or My Fair Lady, or any other musical.
Truly, this is a theme of these musicals of this age, where they're like, I want a wife, she can cook and clean for me. And I'm like, hire a maid, you fucking weirdo. Anyway.
It might have been Harvey Girls. It might have been truly fucking anything.
Anything.
Any musical where a man is terrible.
So, he tells the shopkeeper he's looking for a bride. She's like, no one is going to marry you because there's more men than there are women here. And so the women have the pick of the bunch. So no one's going to marry you. You look insane. So a bunch of ladies.
They call him a countryman.
Yes. A bunch of ladies walk in.
Or a woodsman or something.
Something. A bunch of ladies walk in, young ladies, and he weirdly ogles them. And then
inspects them like they're cattle.
Gross. And then goes outside and starts to sing Bless Your Beautiful Hide. Weird. Again, okay, so this guy is Howard Keel.
This is weird what he's doing, but he's gonna sing, so it's okay.
Yeah, so it's fine. Yes, so this is Howard Keel, who we last saw way back when in Kiss Me Kate. So
yes, in Kiss Me Kate.
Yes.
And also Showboat. Nay?
Not the first Showboat, which is the one that we did.
We haven't done.
It's the
second Showboat.
The 50s or 60s Showboat, which we haven't done.
Yeah.
He's in Showboat.
Okay. I don't need to do another Showboat
for at least another 3 years.
I don't need that in my life.
And I'm pretty sure he's also in Annie Get Your Gun as Frank Butler.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
So we'll see him again because that is on the list. He has a lovely baritone voice.
Another Western.
Another one. Yes. So anyway, he sings this song, and his voice is beautiful, and the words are horrible.
Yeah, Howard Keel's got a beautiful baritone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You, dear listener, do you want to know what this song reminded me of? This song reminded me of 2 songs. One, from Joseph, any dream will do, but change it to wife.
Any wife will do.
Or what my partner said, which is, this is just Michael Bublé's Just Haven't Met You Yet.
Oh no, I almost did a full spit take. Woo!
I know. That is this song. It is just Michael Bublé's Just Haven't Met You Yet. Anyways, I wrote, sir, you have no right to be picky. You
Absolutely
think you're
not.
the cock of the walk, as they
Truly,
say. And
it's
you
big
are...
Gaston energy.
Oh, big Gaston energy.
Listen,
Good
Howard
call,
Keel
big Gaston energy.
would have been a great Gaston. Fuck.
Now I want that.
Anyway, so fuck. So, he walks through town. He's looking at all these women. He's like, this one's too skinny. She's not strong enough. This one's too big. She's not slim enough. Like, truly awful. He gets distracted by a mannequin at one point. This man is bad. So,
this man has bad eyesight?
Bad eyesight. So finally he like sees a woman out back chopping wood, and he's taken with her strength. And then he like looks at her through the window, and she like slaps a man or something. He's like, she's spunky. And so
she's the one for me.
She's the one for me. So he goes inside, and it turns out she's like the barmaid keeper. She like cooks for this bar and serves just does a bunch of stuff for this bar. And
and she's
so he
a
goes
good
in.
cook. All the men there make comments of like, Millie's cooking, always like, I'm always happy when I'm eating Millie's cooking or something. Yeah.
Now she gets
like, that's
one,
the wife for me.
She gets one look at this like 6'4", full head of hair, all his teeth man, and is like, fuck it, this one. So which like in 1850s Oregon, I can't super blame her for being like, hey man, he ticks all my boxes. So, and my boxes are teeth, hair, and tall. Done.
All four limbs.
All four limbs. So he proposes, and she immediately accepts.
Yes. I'm sorry. How does he propose to her, Grace?
He
traps her behind a cow.
Behind a cow. She's milking a cow. And I thought this was a fake cow for the longest time. On his close-up, when he's like leaning over it, it might have been. But she's like milking a cow, and he's like, marry me. And she's like, no. And he's like, please. And she says, okay. It's it's not much more complicated than that.
No. I appreciated, I liked the line where he was like, look, if we were back east, here's my timeline. Yeah. I would have met you, I would have asked you to like, we would have like sat on your porch on Wednesday evenings. After 2 years, I would have asked your father for your hand in marriage. But this is Western times, and I go home tonight, and I won't be back in town for another 5 months, so are you gonna make me wait another 5 months for your pride? And I said, yes! Yes! But she says, I'll marry you.
Crazy.
Man, you don't know this man.
You don't know
and you know who also doesn't support this? The
her
Reverend.
Dad. Is the Reverend her dad? I don't remember.
No! Okay. I don't think she has a dad.
Crazy. So he goes and gets cleaned up. He gets the preacher. The preacher is not about this, but Millie, the lady, her name is Millie. Millie is determined. And my God, in this scene, I was like, you have nary a waist. Your waist is so small that it is not.
Oh my God, her waist, she's tiny. She's
so tiny.
And also she's probably got like 3 girdles on.
Yeah.
I'm not like other girls.
I'm
just so wayfish.
I'm bird boned and I chop
G
wood.
Breast bounced bobbly down the stairs. I'm also the chosen one. Anyway.
No boy ever likes me except for all of these men.
Except for the 2 hottest men in this town. And one has blonde hair, one has brown.
But they're both white. Don't get it twisted.
But there was... Jesus.
Okay, so...
Anyway, they get married, and they ride off, and there's a funny bit where they pass the general store as they leave, and the guy who he was talking to, he was like, you're not gonna get a wife in one day, he goes, holy shit, he got a wife!
He got it!
As
he
they
did it!
Ride past.
so crazy.
Yeah.
So they're riding through this countryside. His town, his like cabin farm area is, I think, like
homestead.
12
Yeah.
miles away from town, which in
Totally.
horse and buggy time, I
Yeah.
think is probably like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's not that far.
It's not
He
that
made it seem
far.
like
12, I know. If
far.
it was like, oh, it's going to take me all day to get back, it would make sense that he would only come in like once every 3 months or so. But no, it's 12 miles. You could walk that if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That's an easy, not an
if
easy.
If he would, he could.
It's, yeah, if he wanted to, he would. So
yeah.
they talk, and she keeps talking about how, like, she's excited for this marriage. She's been working in this bar, feeding all of these people, and she's excited to, like, have a home and care for just one person and, like, really put all of her energy into one person. And he looks guilty as hell, because guess what he never told her? That he has 6 brothers that he's also expecting her to look after. Crazy. He doesn't want a wife. He wants a maid or a mom. Insane.
He wants a cook.
Yeah.
He wants a cook. But Millie sings this song, Wonderful, Wonderful Day.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, in sticking with Oklahoma, Many a New Day.
Yeah.
Esque.
Yeah.
Of like, it is anticipation for this new chapter in her life.
Very excited.
They arrive on the farm, and she is immediately inundated with 6 other 6'4" ginger men who have never seen a woman before.
I was so uncomfortable for her. And I was like putting myself in this situation where I am a waif. And then suddenly, who would have thought? And then suddenly I marry someone I've never met, and then I show up and there are 6 more of them, and they are all a foot taller than me and circling me. I would have a panic attack. This is a horror movie. This is entrapment. It's false advertising.
I will say, there is definitely smut like this as well.
100%. But this is... No, listen, we read the same books, Anna.
No, I know, and that's
you know
not
that
what this
Katie
podcast
Roberts
is about, but
started a series about the 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. There are 2 of those books out by Katie Roberts.
I didn't know that. You know what's also 7 Brides for 7 Brothers? Fucking Bridgerton.
Yeah. Except for no kidnapping. Except for by Benedict in the books. He does kind of kidnap. Yet. Fear not, dear reader.
He does? I don't remember that. I don't think I actually read the books.
That's
I think
fine.
I might have read one of them.
That's fine. They were written 20 years ago, and even the author was like, I made mistakes. Like...
Choices, several of them wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, she goes inside the cabin with Adam. I don't know if we ever said his name. The main guy's name is Adam.
Yes.
And he shows her around the kitchen, and he introduces all the brothers, and they're named Adam, Benjamin, Caleb,
Daniel.
The D one? Because there's Daniel, Ephraim, Frank, and then Gideon is the last.
Yes.
And there's a whole fight that starts because they're all named after biblical characters, and they're like, well, Frank's not a biblical character. Ask him what his real name is. His real name is frankincense. Ha 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 ha. And then Frank just like beats the shit out of some other brothers.
Yeah.
I wanted to know how you felt about the fight choreography in this, because there's a lot of it.
So the fights later were like in between fight choreography and West Side Story fight choreography. So West Side Story fight choreography is highly stylized, very dance. And then fight choreography is like, oh no, we are trying to make this seem real. And trying
live somewhere in between.
And this leaves somewhere in between. And I'm talking about the fight that happens later, which we'll get to.
The barn fight?
Yeah, that one lives in between West Side Story and normal fight choreography. With this one, it felt very 50s fight choreography of like big haymakers, big swings. People are obviously placed in a way for the camera. It's not well hidden. It's just it's the choreography of its time, and stylizations for choreography in fight, in dance, in everything change with the time as we learn new practices and as we get more experience. So it's fine for the time that it was in. It feels like a musical theater fight. It doesn't feel like a stage or a movie fight, if that makes sense.
I think the thing that stood out to me was that the fight, for the most of the time in musical films, a fight will start and we'll have it for like 2 or 3 seconds, and then we'll cut to another angle or we'll cut to another scene. And this scene in particular, the fight kept going on for like,
and it moved rooms, which was kind of fun.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what Grace thinks of that.
Yes.
Anyway,
I
while
did like
the
the
fight
use of
happens
space.
amongst the other brothers, yeah, Adam takes Millie into the kitchen. He was like, and here's the kitchen. And it's a fucking mess. And
Horrific.
He leaves her, abandons her to make dinner for 7 people. And she has a little minty bee.
Yeah.
She rolls up her sleeves and she gets to work.
Yes. She angrily starts cleaning is what I write. So she gets dinner. She like rings the little triangle for dinner, ding-a-ling-a-ling. And they all descend on this table like they are wolves. Like fully grabbing things, like pulling things out of other people's hands. And she's like, we gotta say grace. And they just ignore her. So she has a little mini Rex the Tavern and flips the dinner table over. And I was like, hell yeah, Millie, flip it over.
I loved that.
Yeah, I appreciated table flip. I've talked about this before. One of my like ideals in my brain that I would love to do at some point is have a fully laden dinner table and flip it over, and then I don't have to clean up.
Flip it.
That is like a personal fantasy of mine. Is I just want to flip a fully laden table and just not have to deal with it afterwards.
Cut to later.
Yes.
There's this weird scene where all the men are downstairs, like smoking pipes in silence, kind of a who's gonna make the first move
Waiting
kind of a thing,
for Adam
where
to
Adam
do
is
something.
the oldest.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, it's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go to bed. And they're all like,
oh, Millie has gone and shut herself in the bedroom, by the way, ever since dinner. She flipped the table, went into her room, shut the door. So
we love. Adam goes upstairs and discovers, like, Millie didn't go to sleep. She's angrily rocking in a rocking chair waiting for him.
If only there was no light in the room
And
except for a single lamp next to her. But sadly, it's that energy, but without the lighting.
And I liked this scene where she calls him on his bullshit. She's like, you kept a major part of this family dynamic from me, that you have 7 adult brothers. You didn't want a wife. You wanted a cook and a cleaner. You wanted a hired woman, like a hired girl. And if I'm to be a hired girl, I have a right to my own sleeping space.
Yes. And he tells her, you know, like, I do care for you. Your work ethic was a major part of like why I was attracted to you in the first place, but I also think that you're beautiful. And she's like, no, I'll work next to you, but I will not sleep next to you. And now, to his credit, he immediately then leaves, which I did appreciate. There was like, once she's like, you don't get to sleep here, he was like, okay. And he walks out.
No, he doesn't walk out. He goes out the window.
Well, no. He walks out and then he gets peer pressured by his brothers, because his brothers are all weirdly standing outside the door, and he's like, she wanted water. And so to save face, he gets water, comes back in the room, gives it to her, and then goes out the window so he doesn't have to face his brothers for the fact that he's like, I'm giving her the space she asked for.
Yeah, and so he's like, I'm gonna sleep in this tree, and she's like, don't, that's dumb. You're being dumb.
I'm dumb.
Yeah, and she sings the song called You're Being Dumb. No, she sings a song called When You're in Love.
Same thing.
Which says, like, listen, when you're a girl or when you're in love, you have all these hopes and dreams of, like, what marriage will be like. And the realities of that are often very different. And she appreciates that he went out through the window, and so she lets him come back in the room, and in doing so he like breaks the bed. It's a physical gag.
So cut to the next morning. All of the other brothers sleep in the same like dormitory like attic, and I'm gonna bring that back up later because I have questions about how this life at this place with all of these boys is gonna work. So
I can definitely imagine that, like, if this was the house they grew up in, Adam is sleeping in the parents' bedroom, and 100%. Then all the boys slept in.
Yeah, but then they all want to get married, and I'm like, that don't track. Where are y'all sleeping?
Yeah. And the movie doesn't address that. But anyway, the boys wake up the next morning to the smell of bacon and fresh coffee. And it was made clear earlier that, like, these guys have been surviving on, like, hardtack and lard. Like, they have not
Truly.
had a good meal.
And chewing tobacco.
Because none
Don't
of
forget
them
the
know how to
tobacco.
cook. Yeah, and and so they're like, okay, like, let's, like, I want to get dressed. I'm going to go downstairs. And none of their clothes are in the room.
Yeah.
And then knock on the door. Millie's like, hey, if you're looking for your clothes, I washed them and they're hung out to dry. Give me your
Night
inside clothes and I'll wash them too. Yeah. Which would then mean they're naked.
Yeah, they have
the
a
logic
naked
of that
breakfast.
Confused me.
Which is why they're all wrapped in,
But
like, quilts.
Yeah. But she lays down the law
Yeah.
of, y'all are wild animals. You need to all shower and shave. And I'm going to wash your clothes. And we're going to do things differently. And they try to call her bluff. And she absolutely doubles down. And they're like, okay,
100%.
fine.
Yeah.
And then they... Yeah. And they all then go and have a very well-mannered breakfast while wrapped in blankets.
Yep.
And she gets them to say grace.
Absolutely. And then she starts talking to them about, like, you're actually not that far from town. Why don't you guys, like, go in for the dances and go to meet people? And she, like, starts trying to talk to them about, like, how to, like, talk to other people besides the boys in your family. If you want to see a girl, go into town, like, talk to people. Get to know people a little bit. So she decides that she needs to go into town because she, like, needs a scrub brush and, like, a couple of other, like, small items for her. And all of the other brothers are like, I'm gonna go. And so they pile in together and make their way into town. So it is not Adam, it is the 6 younger brothers and Millie.
Mm-hmm. The youngest brother is named Gideon. He is the one that first volunteered to go with Millie. So yes. Millie says,
and this
like,
is
all right,
Riff, by
once
the
they're
way.
in town, this is Riff. Millie says, like, all right, I'm taking Gideon with me inside the shop. The rest of you, stay in the wagon. Don't get into trouble.
Yes.
And of course, immediately one of them hops out of the wagon to try to talk to a girl, because they're like, oh, a girl! But he doesn't know how to, so he's like, do you want some chewing tobacco? Which is rude, apparently.
I don't know.
To offer, and the girl gets offended, and another man gets offended, and all of a sudden it becomes a big group fight. Yeah. And the boys absolutely kick the ever-loving shit out of the other townsfolk. Yeah. Someone goes through a window, and they're all super proud of themselves for winning a fight, and that's when Millie comes out of the shop and is like, get
furious.
In the wagon!
Yeah, furious. So back home, she takes them all back home and starts talking to them about how to talk to people and, like, manage interactions with people. And so we get the song.
And she sets a goal because and she sets a goal of a month from now, there's going to be a barn raising / picnic social event. Like, that is the goal.
Yeah.
You will know how to talk to girls by that date.
Exactly. And we get the song Goin' Courtin', which is a big little dance number. Mm-hmm. Big little dance number. I
liked this. I thought this was harmless and fun.
I think that this was a harmless, fun dance. Where basically she's like, this is what you gotta do if you want to court a lady. You gotta take her hand and you gotta offer her your arm if you're gonna walk somewhere. If she's carrying something, offer to carry it for her. Just kind of like of the era classic wooing techniques, I guess.
Wasn't there a song like this in Dolly?
With
the 2 boys?
I'm sure there was. Yeah. All of these musicals are the same. And I love them all. Except for this one.
Anyway, it was a long take.
Yes.
And they learn to dance.
Yeah.
And they kind of play pretend, and then cut to a month later, they're all freshly shaved and dressed up for the dance, and they're all in like jewel tones.
This is a rainbow of men. So, my God, they each have like one of the colors of the rainbow. Adam is in like emerald green. We have they're all like in the same shirt.
They've all had their colors analyzed.
Yes, they are.
They've all had
some of them are cool toned.
They've all been color analyzed. And they all have like a solid color shirt.
Benjamin is a winter.
Cleaned up their nails. So they all pile into the wagon and they go to the barn raising picnic, and they pull up, And as we established in the opening scene, there's like 6 guys to every 1 girl in this town. So they pull up, and all the girls who have dates for the dance see all these handsome men.
Like 6-foot-tall gingers.
The brothers are handsome. And they're like, who is that? Who is that? And they don't recognize the brothers, but they recognize Millie and use her as an excuse to go meet the boys.
Right. And so all of the boys kind of, for the girls that rush over, all of the brothers are like, oh, let me carry this for you, and kind of using the graces that Millie bestowed on them. And Adam is like shooketh.
I loved this. I loved this moment of he's just so perplexed and bemused,
and Millie looks so
smug. What did you do to my brothers?
Yeah.
Yes, I loved that. I loved how like increasingly confused he was by this.
Exactly.
And then
we get a dance.
But first we lay a little bit of the foundation of just like, the brothers are growing as people and Adam is not. Because Millie makes a comment to Adam of like, you could use some manners as well. And he goes, why do I need manners? I already got me a wife. And I wrote, garbage. Well,
and at one point, I don't remember if it's now or if it's later, she's like, just because I didn't make you court me doesn't mean that other girls don't need that. And I was like,
It's later.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're not there yet.
No.
We are at the barn dance.
Yeah. So we get this big old dance number. So basically this barn raising is a farmer needs a new barn. And so he set up all of the things, but essentially you need a bunch of people to help lift the walls of this barn and attach everything together. And it requires a big effort. And as a community, people would get together, throw a little picnic. He would like provide food, or like he has a prize or something like that. But before they actually get to the wall raising, they have like a little, a hoedown dance in the middle of what this
like
barn will
dance.
be, like a little social group dance. And so all of the girls are there with their original dates, and we see the brothers slowly like steal the girls away, and it's a big like back and forth between the original suitors and the brothers, and it's a very silly, fun dance. Suddenly all the boys are classically trained dancers. It's crazy. Yeah. And I say dance fight as in like they are battling with dance, not that it is like a West Side Story dance fight. But, like, they are showing off their best moves, from, like, essentially.
And they move from, like, exchanging, like, the dance moves from the girls exchanging partners from their original dates and then the brothers, to then the boys dance fighting, and that, like, they're each showing off. They're each trying to one-up each other. They're jumping off of roofs. They're leapfrogging. There's arm wrestling and log rolling. I really liked this.
Yeah.
I really liked this number.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it now so I don't forget, but my homework, just watch this number. Like, don't watch this movie. But anyway, the dance ends, and at the last moment, all the girls go back to the brother partner that they had, which obviously leaves all the other men rather upset. And now it's time to raise the barn, and they need 4 teams, and the prize for whichever team can complete their work fastest is you get a heifer calf. And so the brothers all sign up to be a team, and there's a large montage of them building the barn with the other 3 teams made up of the rest of the men in town, who are very jealous and very peeved of all the attention that the boys have been getting. And so they just sabotage the boys every single time.
And it gets worse and
hammers
worse.
on them, and they hit them with planks. But the boys at first, the brothers at first, don't fight. They start to fight, but then they're like, no.
Millie told us not to.
I have better
Millie
manners
said,
than this. Like, I will be the better man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam does not like this.
No, Adam's mad at Millie and mad at them for like. He says like she turned you into a bunch of wusses or something.
Yeah.
And later, Gideon, the youngest, sees one of the other men of town like purposefully hit Adam with a plank of wood, and that snaps. That's the spark, and they all descends into a brawl.
Yeah, because in their eyes, they're like, "Listen, we're competing with you for these ladies' attention, so you doing this makes sense. My brother has nothing to do with this. He's already married, so you attacking him is an actual attack, and so that's why this fight sort of."
I hadn't thought of that.
Happens.
Yeah. That's
Well, 'cause
like,
they
that's a
mention-
you don't like us.
Yeah, I think Gideon has a quick line about that later on whenever he's talking to Millie about it and he apologizes. And he's just like, when I saw them hit Adam like that and he didn't have anything to do with anything, I just got really mad. So I mean, I kind of understand that, and I appreciate them being like, yeah, we're fighting you for these girls, and you're playing dirty. That's on you. But oh, you hit my brother. He's not fighting for your girls. So now it's on site. Anyway, so huge fight happens, and this is kind of like the West Side Story, like almost dance, not quite musical theater style, like Guys and Dolls, that brawl that happens in the club in Cuba kind of vibe. And the barn gets fully knocked over.
We had a Rexa Tavern before, and now we have a Rexa Barn.
Rexa Barn! When you level a building.
It's like in Pokemon, a Rexa Tavern evolves to become a Rexa Barn. Like the walls.
Yeah.
You're not a Rexa Barn until like all four walls fall
down.
out.
So we have, and then I'm going to provide a third option, which I don't think we've seen yet. So we have the Rexa Tavern, we have a Rexa Barn, and then we have a Rexa Town, when you truly just burn a town to the ground.
I'm sure we'll see.
Maybe in old Chicago.
Sure.
I don't know if that counts.
In old Chicago. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. Because it was the cow's fault.
Yeah, it was not intentional. Okay. So we cut
my
back to the
God.
house.
Fucking old
Millie,
Chicago.
yeah. Millie is devastated at their behavior and she's patching them up. They all have like split lips and split knuckles and someone has like a black eye, whole deal. But all of the boys, all of the brothers are like still thinking about the girls that they met. And so Gideon goes outside to talk to Adam about it because Gideon, and we get more about this later, has always really looked up to Adam and idolized him as like he's the eldest brother and Gideon's the youngest. And so he talks to Adam about it and is like, I think I'm in love. And Adam kind of brushes him off at first. And it's just like, you're a child. That's not like... you're not feeling that, but then looks at him and is like, okay, well, maybe you are feeling that. And so he sings a reprise of the song that Millie sang to him, When You're in Love. And in the background, Millie overhears him kind of counseling his brother through this and is like, has a little sweetheart moment. But then Adam goes Adam ruins everything, lols. And he then at the end of the song is like, but you'll get over it. One woman is pretty much not like the next. And Millie in the background just like devastated.
I missed that line.
Yeah.
I think it's because at that time I was doing math of how old this movie was, because my note is, this film was 71 years old.
Damn.
Right there.
Yeah.
Cut to...
Winter?
Winter has set in. It is snow. This was on sound stages.
Yeah.
But the one... it's set in Oregon territory. They shot some exteriors in Idaho in winter. Like, it is the deep northern, western snows. And I wrote, look at all that asbestos falling from the sky. And we get this song. We get not a montage, but we get a scene of the boys doing all of their outdoor chores, but it's like outdoor chores.
Yeah.
But it's like they're moving in slow motion. They're moping.
Their heart isn't in it.
Yeah, the one of them starts to sing the song Lonesome Polecat, which
Crazy.
is a wild song.
Crazy.
But it's essentially like, my life is meaningless without my woman.
Yep.
And I looked it up of like, because I wanted to pull the lyric of, I'm a lonesome polecat, lonesome, sad, and blue, because I ain't got no feminine polecat, vowing to be true. Wild.
And then my
Apparently,
next line is...
Bobby Darin did a cover of this.
Oh my god, why?
I doubt it. I doubt that's in Just in Time.
Yeah. I did write down one lyric which is can't make no vows to a herd of cows.
Oh my god, I have a fun fact about this actually.
Good.
There's a lyric about sleeping with sheep. There's like a sheep joke in here.
Yeah.
So, censors, there's a lyric of a man can't sleep when he sleeps with sheep. And the censors the Hays Code
Yeah.
weren't happy about that
They're
lyric.
like, hey man, that
But
sounds
they
bad.
said, that sounds like bestiality. But they said if you don't show any sheep in this shot when you sing that lyric, we'll let you get away with it.
Crazy. This is essentially snow ballet
Anyway.
with axes. Like,
Oh my god, it is!
so, at this point, Millie goes to talk to one of the brothers because she knows that they're all, like, moping, and Benjamin is in the barn, and she goes to talk to him, and he's like, I think...
The second eldest brother.
Yes. He's like, I think I'm going to leave when the snows melt. I can't just stay here. I need to go and, like, find my life, which, yeah, man, you should. So... this panics Millie, and she goes and tells Adam, and she's like, if he leaves, they'll all leave.
Snitches.
She snitches on him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ma'am, why don't you want them to go and start their own lives? Why, like, why do they need to stay here?
I mean, very, very valid question, but she says when she snitches to Adam, she's like, this is the woman who 6 months ago was like, I'm so excited to care for one man.
One person.
But now she's like fallen in love with all of the brothers, like
The
as
family. Yeah.
And she's like, I wanted us all to like live here on like a homestead and like
Yeah.
all of us like had them have their own families.
Yeah.
Like she wants them all to live, not obviously in the same house, but like make like a commune essentially.
Yeah, essentially.
And if he leave, but she's right, like if Benjamin leaves, he's the second eldest, the rest are gonna leave.
Yeah, exactly. So Adam comes up with an idea. It's an idea. And so he goes to all of the brothers and reads them a story.
He reads them from Millie's copy of Plutarch's Parallel Lives, specifically the chapter about the Sabine women, which were women that ancient Romans kidnapped to be their wives. And he says, you know what? This comes from him. This is not me defending him, but this is me clarifying for plot. Adam says, you know what? If they're sweet, if the brothers are sweet on the girls, they should go marry them.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's what I did. I wanted a wife, and so I went and got me one. And so he goes to console the brothers, and he reads them from this book and says, like, you should do the same. You
do what
should
the
go
Romans
if you
do.
want something in this life. You go
kidnap
you go
a
get
woman.
it. Just go kidnap the women.
Okay.
Yikes.
So this song is called Sabin Women. And I sent Anna a picture of my face because I realized that I had been frozen in shock and horror over the lyrics and the implications of this song, and I needed it memorialized because I thought my face would stick like that forever. This is I'm like speechless with how horrific this song is in its implications of just go kidnap a woman, she'll be sobbing, she'll be crying, but once she has a baby, she'll be happy. And the final lyric is, she'll be sobbing, but by the end, we'll make her smile. And I'm like, vibrating. This is a horror movie.
Just jovial mass kidnapping.
Anyway, that happens.
But they're singing and dancing, so it's okay.
It's fine because it's a love story.
Oh my god, my ears are bleeding.
I'm so sorry.
So the boys do exactly this. They hitch the horse to the wagon, they go into town, all 12 miles, and they each split up to their significant girl's house, and then like a bird that's gotten stuck in your house, they throw a blanket over their heads, and then throw them over their shoulders and take them back to the wagon.
Kicking and screaming.
The visual gag is funny. It is terrifying, though.
Change the music and it's a horror movie. They're waiting outside of these girls' houses with blankets and clubs. Like, anyway, they kidnap all of these girls and head back to town.
But the town folk realize.
Yeah, because they're not
and then
subtle.
head back to their house, not to town.
Sorry, yes.
No, they're not subtle at all. The alarm is raised, and every single girl's male relatives are
all
like,
their
gotta go
families.
get them.
Yeah.
And they go after the brothers. Yeah, all their families, their dads and brothers.
Yeah. And some of the
like,
suitors.
love interests. So we get a chase.
And there's one thing that we forgot to mention, which is there's this one specific section of pass on the road back to their homestead.
Echo Pass.
Which whenever Millie's on her way first up there, Adam mentions, yeah, it's great to yell now, but don't do it in the winter because we get a lot of snow, and if you yell too loud, the sound will cause an avalanche. So...
yeah, like the echo.
Yes.
So the brothers get to the pass, they have to slow down, and they literally like put their hands over the girls' mouths to keep them quiet so that they don't trigger an avalanche.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they're through, they cause an avalanche by shooting their guns and like
letting the
girls
girls
to
scream for
It causes
help.
an avalanche.
Yeah.
And it blocks the pass. Like, no town folk are killed by the avalanche, but they are stuck on the other side.
Yeah.
And
it's like big. It's like
they,
trees
like,
and like it's massive.
Now the only option is to wait for spring.
Yeah.
The townsmen give up
So
rather easily, I will say. So easily.
Feels like you could have tried harder.
But so the women sob. They are brought back to the homestead. Millie comes out of the house, obviously like confused by what she's hearing. All the girls mob Millie, and Adam proudly, and she's like, what have you done to the men? And Adam and the boys very proudly say, like, I got the idea from your book, and this is what we've done. And she is so angry. She bans the men from the house. She says, you can live in the barn with the rest of the livestock if this is how you're going to behave.
Yeah.
And Adam's like, oh, but that doesn't apply to me, right? And she goes, no, it does.
Absolutely
I can't even look at you. And then there's the line where she's like, just because you got me to marry you without any courting doesn't mean that's how you should treat women.
Yes.
Yeah, you're the bad guy, dude.
You're the bad guy.
You're the bad guy of this film.
And as most men who are confronted with their bad behavior, he throws a fit and runs away to the woods. More men should do this.
He goes to the hunting cabin.
If you have bad behavior, go live in the woods.
When the snow has melted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Gideon learns this. He's like, where are you going? And Adam tells him, I was like, I'm going to go to the hunting cabin, and I'll be back when the pass is clear.
They're like, there are wolves.
Gideon
this is a bad idea.
He's like, no, meh. My wife yelled at me. And Gideon...
because I kidnapped 6 women, my wife is mad at me.
Yeah. Gideon goes to Millie being like, tell him not to go. But she says, like, Adam has to learn he can't treat people this way.
Yeah.
Let him go.
Yeah.
Also, the boys then realize what part of the grand plan was to also kidnap a parson to marry them all.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Forgot
and
the
now
parson.
They're all snowed in till spring.
Yeah. So, over the winter, we get kind of a winter-long montage of the girls playing quote-unquote pranks on the brothers. It's like they throw water on them while they're outside in the snow. They hit them with snowballs that have rocks in them. But slowly, you can see the girls softening to them, that they're like, oh, I guess he's not that bad. It was only a group kidnapping. So they're slowly getting into him. At one time we see Millie reading to all of the girls, and like, at first one of the brothers comes in asking for a blanket, and then the next one asks for some wrappings, and then the rest of them are there, and Millie's like, you guys need to get the fuck out of here and stop.
Absolutely not. Yeah. Stop this. I'm picking up what you're trying to put down. Stop.
Absolutely not.
Cut to a later scene up in the room that was once the boys. Now all the girls sleep up there. They're all
going a bit stir crazy.
Yeah, it's that point in the winter where like it has done nothing but snow for the last 2 months, and it's going to continue to snow for the next 2 months.
Yeah. And
so there's pent up emotions, and they're tired of being cooped up, and they all just someone says something wrong, and they pick a fight, and they all scrabble on the floor, much like the brothers do in the first scene.
100%.
That we meet them. But Millie comes in, and she goes, stop it, please, like, you're better than this, like, you don't need to be doing this. Also, I need you more than ever, because I just found out I'm pregnant.
Yeah. Crazy.
And all the
So-
girls get all moony-eyed.
They get all moony-eyed, and we get the song June
And to their
Bride.
credit, the girls say, how could we help?
Yeah,
Like,
instantly.
women supporting women, they're like, what?
They're
like,
like,
let us take your
sit
chores.
down,
Like,
we'll
let
do
us
your chores.
take responsibilities off of your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then Millie leads, and the girls sing the song June Bride.
Where they just fantasize about getting married and having babies. Awesome.
I will say, the thing about if they say when you marry in June, you're a bride all your life, that's not just like a lyric. Like, that was very much a
That was a saying.
mentality of, it's a reason a lot of people got married in June.
Yeah.
Like, it was something that, like, if you reference that, people in our parents' generation and our grandparents' generation would recognize that
Would
phrase.
know what that meant. Yeah.
And I don't know if that's from this musical or that was already something that was just, like, in the zeitgeist that this musical plucked and put into this song.
Right.
The girl that plays Dorcas is 5'11".
Oh my god. Hell yeah, Dorcas.
She's so stunning. But
my
it
God.
was this scene
This was
where
the
I was,
woman with
seeing
like
her
the
against,
long brown hair that was curled. Is that her?
Yeah.
Yeah, stunning, gorgeous.
Yeah. It's like statuesque. But like I was seeing her standing next to all the other girls. I think because up until now, like they're all like in like their bloomers and corsets in this song.
Yeah.
So you can see all their feet. I think they were probably putting the other girls in heels
And she was
in the
flats.
previous scenes, but yep.
Can't
but
do
she's
it.
not, and they're all in flats in this one. And I'm just like, anyway. Then we
So-
get the immediate reprise of this song, and surprise, spring is here. The
Yes.
snow is melting, and we see the girls no longer being cooped up inside the house, helping her out around the farm, and also walking hand in hand with each of their beaux, each of their
Yes.
kidnappers.
Yes. So we get the song Spring, 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 which is just spring is here and we're all in love. Honestly, there's not a lot else
In
to that.
love,
We get a lot
yeah.
of animals. There's some really cute animals.
Yeah.
And other than
So
that...
like, we can't have babies yet,
Nope.
but here are some animal babies.
Other than that, Millie is suddenly someone, I think it's Gideon, runs in and is like, Millie's having her baby. And so they all run. All the boys
Yeah,
are
Millie
downstairs.
goes into labor.
All of the girls are upstairs and helping out, and then we hear the baby cry, and she has a baby girl. And so they all come in and give her gifts.
Gideon
like baby
faints at the
shoes.
idea of becoming an uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby shoes and a crib, and Gideon sees all of this and is like, no one's told Adam that she was pregnant, let alone had a baby. So he
Mhm.
takes it on himself to go and talk to his older brother. And he gets there and he tells Adam, you should come home. Millie's had a baby. And Adam ruins everything.
Everything.
And it's just like, that's a lie. She's trying to trick me to come back. And I'm like, you fucking selfish piece of shit. And to be fair, Gideon agrees.
yeah, Gideon, he doesn't actually say you're being a dick.
No,
but he says, like, look, you are my big brother, and I have looked up to you my entire life. But today, this behavior, I am ashamed of you.
yeah.
And Adam throws Gideon back on his horse and tells him to get lost.
Well, and I will say, he's like, I would consider myself less of a man if I didn't do this right now, and I know that you're going to kick the shit out of me for doing this, and punches him in the face. And I'm like, hell yeah, Gideon.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, stand up for your sister-in-law. Like, he's being an asshole. So he
he's being a
sends
fucking
him
asshole.
He sends him back, and he's like, I said that I wouldn't come back until the snows melt and the pass is open, and that's when I'll be back. And I'm like, wow, what an absolute steaming pile of a human.
Also, surprise, the pass is open now. I don't know whether a couple days
It must have been like at least a week.
Pass between that. Yeah,
So-
but the pass is open, and we learn this because we cut back to town, and all the men are like, every able-bodied
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
man, grab your shotgun,
Yeah.
and every weapon you have, we're going
Kill
to get
the
the
beast.
girls back.
Big kill the beast energy.
Yes, kill the beast.
So
Yeah, wow, you're right.
so they all are heading in at the same time. Adam heads back, but because he's closer, he gets there first, and so he comes back and interrupts like a nice moment in the family, and the whole room like quiets down, and he sees his daughter for the first time and realizes that women are people. So he's like, Now that I have my own daughter, I understand how the people in the town must feel, because if someone stole my daughter, I would murder them. So we gotta give all of the women back. And I'm like, I am breathless with rage. So instead of talking to the women and being like, hey, your families need to see you, let's all go back together, and if you want to come back later, we need to do it with their blessing. Instead of talking to anyone, they're just like, let's just do they Uno reversed the kidnap.
They go and take them back.
They try to.
No receipt, no proof of purchase.
Yeah.
So, but first, the brothers put up a fight. Adam's like, I'm the man of the house still, and we're gonna take the girls back. And the brothers are like, no, there are girls now.
Yeah.
But Adam talks some sense into them, if you can call this sensible, of being like, look, if you love these girls, if you like these girls, you love these girls, you want to marry these girls, the people you would be fighting are their brothers, are their cousins, are their fathers. You don't want to fight their kinfolk.
Big Romeo and Juliet situation.
We have to let them go
in
order to get them back.
Yeah.
Just then, Millie arrives to be like, well, y'all were having a dick size comparison contest. The girls have run away because the girls also don't want to leave. They love their men and they don't want to go back to their lives in town.
Yeah.
So there's this scene where like the search party from the town is arriving on the property while the boys are also looking for the women. And so the men from town come onto the property to discover what looks like
assault.
The brothers kidnapping the girls all over again.
Yeah.
And as they approach the property, the preacher, who's part of the search party,
because he's the dad of one of the girls.
Here's the baby. Yeah, he's the dad. He's the
Alice.
Dad of Alice, who is Gideon's beau.
Yeah.
That he hears the baby crying and fears the worst.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Because he doesn't know how time works. They couldn't have been kidnapped more than 6 months ago. Anyway.
No.
Men don't know how women's bodies work. Anyway, so they all sneak up. It looks like a big assault scene. It's awful. They basically rip everyone apart and take the girls, get them all together, and like grab all of the boys. And then one of them is like, we're gonna go hang them from the nearest tree. Like they are ready to murder all of these boys. And suddenly though, the preacher's like, wait, before we do anything, we need to ask, and you can tell us, don't be afraid, I heard a baby, whose baby is it? And all of the girls in a moment of mind reading is like, I know the way to save our beaux, it's mine, they all say at once. Patently impossible. That's not how things work. But then we cut to the wedding. All of them are standing together. The preacher says you're all married.
It's a literal shotgun wedding.
Shotgun wedding because there's shotguns behind them. I also like kind of knew, but like remembered for a bit like, oh, that's what a shotgun wedding means, is a wedding at gunpoint because you slept with the girl before wedding. Cool. Interesting. This is a horror movie. They kiss, it's the end, everyone's happy, quote unquote.
And then they all like go together in a big hug. I'm sorry, these families still hate the brothers. There's no world in which they're like, everything's okay
everything's
now
because
everything's fine.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's a 70-year-old film
and it
that took
bad.
place 100 years before it was filmed.
Yeah. Bad. My god. I don't know how this is on any good movie list. This is horrific.
You want to do some dramaturgy?
Yeah!
I'll be quick, because we've seen both this director and cinematographer before.
Yes.
This was directed by Stanley Donen, who's an American film director and choreographer. We've seen his work before in Singin' in the Rain. We have not done On the Town yet. But we've seen him with his work with Singin' in the Rain, which he co-directed with Gene Kelly. He also co-directed On the Town and It's Always Fair Weather with Gene Kelly. And on his own, he directed Funny Face and Charade, amongst millions of other things. So we'll definitely see his work again.
Yes.
The cinematographer we have also seen, George Joseph Falsey, American cinematographer, did 162 films in his career.
My God.
We have seen him in Meet Me in St. Louis, The Harvey Girls, shout out to The Harvey Girls, and $1 Million Mermaid already. So
yes,
we love his work. And then this was edited by Ralph E. Winters, who is a Canadian-born film editor who was like one of the leading editors in the industry. He started with B-movies in the 40s, including several of the Dr. Kildare series. His first major film was George Cukor's Gaslight. And then he won 2 Academy Awards for film editing. Both were shared with his collaborator, one for King Solomon's Mines and one for Ben-Hur.
Oh, okay.
He also had like a notable, he also worked a lot with the director Blake Edwards, like over 20 years. They worked on 12 films together, including Pink Panther, The Party, and Victor Victoria, which we have done.
I love Victor Victoria. What a good movie.
Yeah. So we had seen director and cinematographer and editor before, which I thought was really cool.
So there are 3 writers credited for this, but there was a bit of a switch 'em up in terms of like who started the film, who ended the film. So it started with Albert Hackett and Frances Goodrich, who were a writing duo. They wrote It's a Wonderful Life, Easter Parade, Father of the Bride, this one, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, and then they also wrote The Diary of Anne Frank and ended up winning a Pulitzer Prize for drama for that. However, they ended up being replaced by Dorothy Kingsley. Dorothy Kingsley said that Frances and Albert didn't get along with Stanley Donen. They were lovely people, but the script wasn't coming out right. No one was happy, and so they decided to bow out. And so Stanley Donen called in Dorothy Kingsley, and she looked at the script and said that the big trouble in the original short story, because this is based off of a short story called Sobbin' Women, horrific, is that Howard Keel's character is the one that tries to get all these boys married, which gives his wife Millie nothing to do. So she took that idea of like, no, they need to like find girls of their own, and gave it to Millie, and it broadened out the plot to include more characters, essentially. Now, this was a stage musical after. So there was a stage musical adaptation that opened in 1978, which was like 24 years after this movie, and still starred Howard Keel and Jane Powell, who was Millie, which is crazy that they came back 24 years later to play these same people. That's wild.
That's crazy. I mean, to be fair, Adam doesn't do any dancing.
No, he doesn't. It didn't do great. It toured all around, and the goal was to bring it to Broadway, but that didn't really work out because there was a lot of drama between like the director and the producer and Howard Keel and Jane Powell. There was just like a lot of tension there. So it ended up being revived like about a couple years later in 1981 with a different cast. Audiences kind of liked it, but it did not impress any critics. It went to Broadway in the Alvin Theater and opened on July 8th, 1982. Had, what was it? It was 15 previews and 5 performances, and then it closed.
Yikes.
Despite that, yeah, we were talking about what shows have closed the fastest. 15 previews and 5 main performances. Even though it closed that quickly, it was still nominated for Best Original Score. Crazy. For the music and lyrics, I don't have a super amount. Originally, they were planning on using existing American folk songs for the musical numbers to just kind of really wrap in the Western homesteady vibe, but they couldn't find enough music that made sense that would work with what they were wanting to do, so they eventually just commissioned an original score. I will say the choreographer for this was Michael Kidd, who wasn't super into the idea of this and kind of got wrapped into it anyway. Now, I was going to talk about Jane Powell, who was our Millie.
I loved her.
She was lovely. So She was an American actress, singer, and dancer who was contracted with MGM musicals in the 40s and 50s. She has her high soprano voice, very girl next door image, and appeared in a bunch of different stuff. So she began dance lessons when she was like 2, and by the age of 5, she had appeared on a radio program, Stars of Tomorrow. When she was 12, a talent promoter helped her get selected, and she began singing on Portland radio stations. She traveled around for a while singing and selling victory bonds, and then she ended up signing in 1943 a contract with MGM Theaters in Hollywood, and she was 14 years old at the time.
Wow.
So apparently she wanted to go back to school, and her mom said, "No, you're making money for the family." So,
yikes.
After signing with MGM, she was lent out to United Artists for her first film, which was Song of the Open Road in 1944, where she played the character Jane Powell and took that as her professional name. Her name that she was born with was Suzanne Lorraine Burse. She did a lot of stuff at this time. In 1949, she sang at Harry Truman's inaugural ball. So she sang for like 5 U.S. presidents. She sang for the Queen of England. In 51, she co-starred with Fred Astaire at the comedy Royal Wedding as siblings. She starred opposite Debbie Reynolds, Ann Miller, and Russ Tamblyn in Hit the Deck in 1955, which was apparently a commercial failure. She was mostly known for musical comedies. Every now and then she did like a serious like role. So one of her most popular ones was a film noir called The Female Animal in 1958, which she co-starred with Hedy Lamarr in that, which was very, very cool. By the late 50s, her offers had started to slow down, so she ended up turning to theater. And she was in a stage production of The Most Happy Fella, which they talked about doing in my high school, which was such a bad idea, and I'm glad they didn't. In 1964, she starred as Eliza Doolittle. She had the title role in the stage production of Unsinkable Molly Brown. I had to double check, and I was like, she wasn't Molly in the movie, was she? And she was not. This was the stage production. She was also the female lead in Carousel. She was in The Boyfriend. She was in Brigadoon. She was in Sound of Music. She was in Meet Me in St. Louis. She made her Broadway debut.
She worked.
Yeah, she worked. She made her Broadway debut playing the title character Irene after Debbie Reynolds stepped down from the role. And then once we get to like the 90s, she started going into like soap operas as like guest starring kind of roles. She performed the role of the Queen in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella at New York City Opera. In 2003, I thought this was interesting, she made a return to the stage as Mama Meisner in Stephen Sondheim's musical Bounce, which held performances in Chicago and DC. She auditioned just to meet Sondheim, who she says was a very nice and very funny man, but I was disappointed when I got the part. I didn't really want to be away from home, and I had never done a new show, and that seemed exciting at first, but I didn't have that much to do, and the part wasn't too jovial. So I thought it was really funny that she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go audition just because I want to meet Stephen Sondheim, and he's like, you're hired, and she's like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. So she was referred to as one of the last surviving stars of the golden age of Hollywood. I think she passed pretty recently, like within the last 5 years. She retained a public image of the all-American girl next door and was a symbol of simpler times, and she got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1960. So just an absolutely prolific person, was in a bunch of movies, and continued to work past the point of the classic studio system, which was great. So she didn't fall through the cracks once the studio system broke up.
I love that.
Yeah.
What a fascinating person. In terms of reviews, reception, and returns, so shockingly, not shockingly because it came out in 54, it got good reviews. They were positive. It has an upsettingly positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes that I'm not going to get into. I actually pulled a negative review from the New York Times. John McCartan wrote, The film got on his nerves and struck me as desperately contrived and often witless, though he did concede that there were some fine dances in it.
Pretty
Which
much.
is how I feel.
Yeah, pretty much.
It made just over $3 million, which is $38 million today. And then in 2004, it was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant.
Yeah.
This is funny. In 2006, it was ranked number 21 on American Film Institute's list of best musicals. And then in 2008, it was ranked number 464 of 500 greatest films of all time. Right down at the bottom.
Woof.
It won a lot of awards. Again, think about when it came out.
Yep.
It was nominated for 4 Oscars. It won for Best Scoring.
Mm-hmm.
It won 2 Golden Globes, one of which I'm going to talk about really quickly was for Best Newcomer, and this went to Jeff Richards, who played Benjamin.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was a baseball player.
Yeah.
Like, this was one of his first films, if not his first, and so there was a note of like, well, he's obviously athletic. He does not have the dance background that the other brothers had, so he is often seen in the background, seated or standing during dance numbers, which sucks, because his partner was a classically trained ballet dancer.
Wasn't that
and so
Dorcas?
she didn't get to dance as much as the other girls. No, that was Julie Newmar.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I'm like, team, you could have just swapped up that duo. Like, just give her to the guy who was on loan from, like, the New York Ballet or whatever. Like... or American Ballet Theater.
No, this guy was a former professional basebal player.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was funny. All right. Singing and dancing?
Yeah. I mean, the singing was great. Jane Powell and Howard Keel. Like, he hit, again, voice like butter. Molasses, it's incredible. His voice is beautiful. The content is bad. I feel the same way about Dear Evan Hansen. Man, his voice is good. Man, is the content bad.
Yeah, that's a really good comparison.
Yeah. So in terms of like technical singing, Jane Powell has a gorgeous soprano. I like every now and then you like get worried that like maybe on that final high note it'll sound a bit reedy, but her final high note in that first song of hers when she's talking Wonderful Life or whatever was so crystal clear, so wonderful, and it's very of its era, this style of singing. They were very like solid examples of the expectations of singing within this era. But the dancing was the main part of it.
That's the whole point of this movie for me. If I gotta see this movie, I'm gonna watch the dancing.
Yeah. And well, I thought it was interesting because Russ Tamblyn, who goes on to play Riff in West Side Story, is not a trained dancer. He's an acrobat. And at first, they kind of had him relegated with the baseball player. And then he went up to, I think it was either Michael Kidd or the director, and was like, you know, I can do a flip. And they're like, really? And then he starts doing all of this acrobatic stuff. So we see him like doing these crazy like handstands and flips off of that. And so, and from that, it really like kicked off his career of essentially learning to dance incredibly acrobatically, which definitely also comes out in West Side Story. Yeah, so I thought the dancing was lovely, and it felt good for like the style of dance, while heightened, did feel like it matched the era and the location. Like, it didn't feel like big poncy or big balletic dances. It felt a little bit like a stylized hoedown, essentially, of just like, we're gonna do the polka.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah, and it was great. So it felt like the dancing matched the tone of the movie.
Yeah, Howard Keel was lovely. The dancing is the whole point of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do my gripe and my giggle really, really quickly. My gripe is that Adam doesn't view women as people. And my giggle was the old lady in the shop at the beginning who was like, you can't just come in with a wife on your to-do list.
I think... I was trying to think of... I mean, my gripe, I just have in all caps where to begin. Yeah, honestly, throw a dart, and most of the time you'll hit something that I didn't like. In terms of giggles, I don't know if it's a giggle. I did like the barn raising dance. I enjoyed this moment of like there's like two planks that are like elevated from the ground by like maybe 2 feet, and they have to do like an arm wrestling contest to like try and throw each other off. And so it's
Why
like
was there
the
arm
suitors,
wrestling? Why was there
knows?
arm wrestling?
They're like suitors like throwing each other off of this like balance beam, which was very silly. I stand by my moment of joy that this was only 90 minutes. If it was like 2.5 hours, I might have died.
Oh God. Just wait for Fiddler.
3 hours, 20 minutes. That's going to be a 2-parter. It's fine.
My moment of joy, because I shockingly have one, is Millie's relationship with the other brothers.
Yeah.
And how
okay.
It started in a really rough place, but through mutual respect, they like came to have a really good relationship.
Yeah. Agreed. I will say, okay, I'm going to call this moment of respect, was Gideon's confrontation of Adam. I appreciated that scene existed.
If the film hadn't had that, burn it to the ground.
Yeah. It's the only acknowledgement that, hey, like, man, your behavior is bad from
you're
other men,
guy.
which is
you're
important.
You're the villain.
Because sometimes that's the only time that they'll hear it. Fun facts.
I have a bunch. My first one, that old lady at the beginning that I loved, her name, the character's name was Mrs. Bixby. She was played by Marjorie Wood. She's best known for playing Lady Lucas in the Greer Garson Laurence Olivier Pride and Prejudice from 1940.
Incredible.
Right?
Amazing.
She was like a Hollywood veteran from the silent film era, so just like an icon. And then the guy who played her husband, I'm just going to do these two fun facts together. He was also a longtime Hollywood actor, 244 credits to his name, going back to the silent films from 1914. Yeah. And he's best known for the role, he was in The Grapes of Wrath as Pa Jode. Yeah. And have you ever seen San Francisco?
I don't think so.
He was Red Kelly in San Francisco.
Okay.
So just like, I loved that these 2-bit parts
are these two titans of the silent era.
Yeah, that's a Clark Gable Spencer Tracy movie that he was also in. From 36. And it is a musical drama disaster film. It might be on our list.
Another one. What's it called?
Another one. It's called San Francisco.
I bet you it's about the earthquake.
What is it about? It is based on the earthquake. It is based on the earthquake. Oh no, this is going to be in old Chicago all over again.
Yes, this is in old Chicago. All right, one of my fun facts is for the bride's costumes, the costume designer, Walter Plunkett, went to the Salvation Army and just found a bunch of old quilts, and that's what he made the dresses from. And you can really tell it has that very homemade feel, which I did appreciate that it's like, yeah, you're living in the woods. I appreciated that their dresses had a very patchwork, homemade quality to them. And then my other fun fact is just that Lonesome Polecat number, the big snow ballet with axes, is one continuous take. It's all one take.
It is. There were quite a few long takes in this film. And while I can always appreciate a long take, they were very stagnant. It was like, we set up the camera. It's like when you film a stage production. So
yes, that song in particular
they lose points
felt
for creativity,
like a stage production.
But I do love, like, a long take for musicals. I think of, like, mostly because I was just re-listening to our episode on The Pirate. But, like, long takes where he's, like, he's, like, climbing trellises and stuff. My other two final facts are, so in Millie's first song, Wonderful, Wonderful Day, there are birds flying on the set, and they shot this on a soundstage, and you can see several crash into the backdrop.
Bonk.
And then my favorite fun fact, actually, is when Adam and Millie first come back to the cabin, and the brothers are like, holy shit, you got married. Yeah. One of them goes, well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. However, this was set in 1850, and The Origin of Species was not published till 59. And the phrase originated as a reaction to the theory of evolution. So
That's
that phrase couldn't have existed. Right? Isn't that cool?
I love those sorts of anachronisms of terminology. Like, there's one moment where I was watching something that was like sent in like ancient Rome, but it was like before, it was like during the whole Caesar thing, but he hadn't died yet. And one of the women calls a man a brute. And I'm like, that word did not exist until Brutus killed Caesar. That word is a direct result of that action. So that word could not exist yet. It's just like one of those like small things that like, if you know the like etymology of certain words, you're just like, ho ho ho, time is a fickle friend. Anna, I think, is that all she wrote? I think that's all she wrote.
I think that's all she wrote for 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. Yeah. And not a minute too soon. Not what I need to watch again.
No.
My only homework is if you feel
called,
inspired to see what the barn dance is all about, because that is something that a lot of the critics were like, what
this
are the
is
highlights
what it
of
was
the
great.
film? I'm sure it is available.
I'll find
Watch the barn dance.
Yeah.
Like,
agreed.
That's it for me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no need.
No need. Yeah, my homework was watch anything but this. Watch a different Howard Keel musical. But honestly, Kiss Me Kate we also hated. So yet to find, like, listen, Howard Keel has a great voice.
I also hated. So.
Yet to find a Howard Keel musical
Listen
that I
to
enjoy.
His music.
Listen to his voice, but nothing else.
Listen to his voice. Yeah. Listen to some Howard Keel recordings.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
That is all she wrote for me.
Yep.
Is that all she wrote for you?
That's all she wrote.
If you're still with us, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of 5678, a movie musical podcast. We are so excited to be back. I have been Anna.
I'm still Grace.
Take care of yourselves and others. See you on the next one. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
5, 6, 7, 8. There's no business like show business, like no business I know.